There we go. I'm Mike Carter. Welcome to Life After the Locker Room. We've only had a little break, honest. With me today is Garvin Yarde. Garv, say hello.
Hello, everybody. How are you
There
doing?
you go. So the thing is I've known Garv. I was just saying our little kind of intro was Bedford International Athletic Stadium, where in training we were doing O versus D, ready for the Ouse Valley Exiles to go out to Iceland, and he said, "Right, the defense are in skins." Just took his shirt off in front of me, and I was like, "I love him. This guy's crackers. I am all for this. He is all for this." But yeah, it's
Mhm,
not my story. It's yours. So
mhm,
tell me about your kind of your early life, and then
mhm.
what got you into football.
Well, I grew up. I grew up. Most of my early life was spent in the States. I'm a Giants fan. I lived in New Jersey and used to go past the old Meadowlands Arena back in the day. So I've always been a Giants fan. Hence, the number 56, which you can see.
I like
I'm
it.
a big Lawrence Taylor fan. So
LT.
it's always been that I've always liked American football and knew all about it in that sort of sense, but never really played as such. Played in school and as a kid, but when I came to England, I didn't think it was a big thing, so I just kind of like put it down really. And then a friend of mine who's passed away now, Vasco, he said to me, I think you could play American football?" I said, "I'd love to." And then he brought me into where it all began, with Ouse Valley, and it's just taken off since then really.
Oh, sweet. So, how old were you when you started Ouse Valley?
When I started at Ouse Valley, I was 39 years old when I started at
39. See, I played it
39.
safe in the pre-chat. I was like 30s,
Yeah,
only just. So I got it.
yeah.
I got it mostly right.
Uh-huh.
So, because before that, you'd have. I mean, I knew you had like a military background. So
Correct.
is that why you didn't start earlier, or is it just there wasn't any opportunity?
There wasn't any opportunity. I was in the army for 9 years, and there just wasn't any opportunity. I wasn't looking for it at all, to be honest with you. I just watched it on telly and didn't think it was a big thing over here, to be real. And then as I said, when I met Vasco, he told me that it was massive here, and I was like, "Massive?" And he's like, "Yeah, come along and see what's happening." So I went along, I saw what's happening, and literally fell in love with playing the sport. And it was just, I can't tell you how much it's been a change and a great addition to my life.
Oh, mate, I'm made up. So that was Ouse Valley, and
Hmm.
then from Ouse Valley, the Hornets.
So from Ouse Valley, I played 2 years, 2 years at Ouse Valley. No, I played 4 years at Ouse Valley and then left there and went to the Hornets. I played 2 years at the Hornets, simply because the Hornets were that sort of aggressive, unruly kind of no discipline team. And that's kind of me in a weird kind of way, undisciplined, unruly, can't be told. And their whole ethos kind of that's resonated with me. It was my spiritual home. So I went there, played there for 2 seasons. And then I thought, you know what, I really need to start learning something. I can go there and beat up people on a Saturday, on a Sunday, but I really do need to start learning some sort of technique or something like that. So I then left them and went to Essex Spartans, who are now the Tridents. But Essex Spartans played a season for them, and then was thinking about retiring. And that didn't kind of work out well because I've played the Hornets on my last game with the Essex Spartans, and then that love just bubbled up into me, and I went back to Essex. I went back to the Hornets, and then realized that yeah, this is just I really do need some training somewhere. But then I went to the Brit Bowl final, and who told me to do that? You know what I mean? I'm supposed to be retiring now. You know what I mean? I'm retiring. I'm saying to myself, give my body one more year and
Mate,
I'm gonna
you
retire.
always retire 3 times. Three
Mate.
times you retire.
Then I went to the Brit Bowl final, saw the Cheetahs get promoted to the Prem, and I thought, can I? All right, you know what? Let me give it a go. They're in the Prem. They're half an hour away from where I live. Let me give it a go and see if I'm good enough to play in the Prem, and the rest was history, man. It was the best thing I ever did.
Yeah, you
Mm.
enjoy it, the Cheetahs.
Man, I enjoyed the Cheetahs. I enjoyed playing in the Prem. I enjoyed playing against the Warriors, the Aztecs, and the Blitz and all of that sort of stuff. I really did, because it kind of ignited that kind of fire in me that, mate, you're the best teams in the land. I want to be the best version of me. and that just ignited me, and I loved it. I got O-lineman of the year, and that was probably the biggest accolade outside of having a ring. That was probably the biggest accolade I've had in any team that I've played for, O-lineman of the year, and to get that in the Prem, mate, I tell you, it was wonderful. It was wonderful.
That's a big deal against some big teams. What was it like playing against the Warriors when they were that, like, the scary Warriors?
The Warriors surprised me, and I'm going to tell you why they surprised me, because I expected there's some big units at the Warriors, and I expected them to be really physical and really just physical, because Div 1 here is very physical. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of, I know it sounds really bad, and forgive me for any Div 1 players, but Div 1 isn't full of a lot of technique. It's more aggression and power. But the Prem and the Warriors and Aztecs and even the Blitz are more skill-based and technique-based. So you had to know what you're doing, had your head switched on, had your head on a swivel as well, and just be about your business in the Prem. And it taught me even more that 1 year, 1 season I played there.
Oh, and then so after that, was that the Hornets as a last hurrah type thing? Or?
So that was my last hurrah, the Cheetahs. I unfortunately got injured in my very last game. Now, considering, Mike, I've played now for 10 years and I've never so much as even broken a toenail in this sport.
How
at 39 years
old, that?
Mate, my body is like that. I don't get injured. I played every single game, every snap that I could play. I played for every team that I played for, which is, I think, the most I've missed in 10 years. I've probably missed 3 games in 10 years. I played every single game and every snap. And then in some games for the Hornets, I played both sides, both ways, offense and defense. So I'm what you call a proper lineman either way.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is I've had a go. I mean, when I was playing in Belfast, I played Iron Man. Jesus.
It's hard work.
You get knackered because you think, right, okay, they punted it away. I can't. I'm knackered. I've got to go and play.
Yeah.
To play at a top level as well is incredible. So we're talking, we're all happy, we're all joyous. That last game, because that was massive, and I remember hearing about it.
Yeah.
And and it was one of those ones of, because you were with the Seahawks then, you were with us, you were part of our family, and we all loved you, knew you, and I remember the chat blew up. What was what do you remember of it?
Well, what happened is, leading up to that season, I'd had a corneal transplant. So where they take part of your eye off and put another part on. So my doctor said, "Yep, you're good to play, no problem." And I thought, okay, cool. So I'm playing well. The whole season's going fine. And the last game, my retirement game, I've got my family on the sideline. Everybody's coming to watch me, and it's probably we're in the first quarter, so we're not even through the game yet. We're in the first quarter, and we're playing against the Cats. And I absolutely bodied their nose tackle, bodied him. I'm talking pancake, bang. He hits the deck. And as he hits the deck, I hit the deck with him, followed by a couple of O-linemen on top of me. Oof. So you can imagine the pressure in my helmet caused the stitches in the eye to rupture. And that's what happened. So when I got up now, when I got up and I realized, whoops, something's not right here. I'm looking out the eye, and it's like a pixelated screen. It wasn't nice, and immediately I thought, I've done something really bad here. There's no way I'm gonna continue to play, because normally if I hurt myself, I'll just continue playing. I haven't got no sand in my vagina. I'm just gonna continue playing. You understand? I'm gonna continue playing. Simple as that, unless I'm broken. So obviously, for me to come off the pitch, I was broken, and the outpour of love from everybody within the American football world who knows me was amazing. I got so many messages asking me if I'm all right, how I'm doing, and it's really heartfelt, and I thank guys for that.
So I mean, did you go back for more to get it restitched in, or? So
the following day, I had an operation to have it all restitched and whatnot. I mean, that was a joy on its own, because I got there, and obviously it seems like not a lot of people have seen that sort of injury before. So when you get there and everybody's like, can we have a look? Can we have a look? Can we have a look? I'm telling you, when I went into the operating theatre crying out loud, the first time I had the operation done, it was me, the anaesthetist, and the obviously the surgeon. So it's probably about 4 of us in there at the time when I had the original operation. This time when I went in there, man, it was like a classroom in there. There's about 12 people just standing around watching what's going on. I was like, what? I was like, what is all this? I felt like a celebrity in there. It was a madness, but you know, I'm better now. I can see out of the eye now, and you know, it's a little bit blurry, but other than that, it's fine. Still have a few little bits and pieces. Still have the stitches in there, so they got to come out, and then I can have contact lenses, and then I'll be back to what I was pre-accident.
Oh, fair play. So it is. You're nearly thereabouts back to normal.
I could, to be honest with you, right, Mike, I could actually play now. I'm not gonna.
That was
but I could play now, and now that I'm in that side of it, I'll tell you that why I decided probably not to just coach and do that.
So this is because obviously this is kind of a big question. I mean, the whole thing is called life after the locker room, because you know, you come away from it and you say you've had this major injury, you know, you've blinded yourself, you've had to have the operation, you're like, ooh, don't fancy that. How retired are you mentally and physically, and how, where are you up to with it? Are you kind of not definitely done, or is that little glimmer of ooh, maybe?
There is a small tiny glimmer, but it's definitely as soon as I think about it, I shut it down. A couple of weeks ago, I was at a training session with some new guys that have come into the Cheetahs, and they're rookies, so they haven't got that aggression that I play with, or the aggression that I want to teach. So I'm having to show them, this is what I need from you guys. If you're going to play and you're going to play for me, then you need to have this aggression. So when I started to grab hold of people and actually told them what I want, I turned around and I said, I'm going to go get my lid. And I was about to go to the car and go get my helmet. Then the head coach said, Yardie, no. I said, okay. Because I know how to put that helmet on. That would have been it.
But you had your helmet in that car, so you weren't done.
The helmet was in the car just so that I could, if I needed to show them something, and I wouldn't get bashed in the face. So that's why I would have my helmet on. But I didn't have any pads or anything like that, just the lid. But even now, the helmet's back up in the loft. It's staying there. I'm not even bringing it when I leave here to go to training on a Sunday. That's where it stays. It doesn't go anywhere near the car because I know what I'm like. So I'm fully retired and I'm staying that way.
So I mean, I'm just going to play devil's advocate. What's the worst that could happen if you played?
If the worst could happen is that I could rupture the eye again, and probably lose sight in the eye. So I don't want to do that. I mean, I love American football, but is it worth my eyesight? I would say probably not. So it's probably the best thing to do. Like I said, my body has been really, really good to me over the years. And I made a pact that if it looked after me, I would look after it. So I've done well. I don't need to prove anything to anybody. And the last thing I want to do is go back to playing American football and be the old bloke on the side. I'm gray haired. I'm already getting people saying, shut up, old man, because I'm mouthy. You know me. I'm always I'm always giving it the big one. And the last thing I want is some youngster throwing me all over the place because I'm not strong as I think I am. And that sort of stuff. So I'm going to leave on a high, and my high was O-lineman of the year, and I'm happy with that.
I love that. Absolutely love that. So you're coaching now with the Cheetahs?
Yep, coaching at the Cheetahs.
Does that give you as much fun and kind of satisfaction as playing did, or is it just different? Because a lot of people have said it's good, but it's not quite the same.
Yeah, Mike, I love fighting. I love getting involved. I love that kind of rough and tumble. That's just the type of person I am. So now I have to do it like when my son started playing soccer, I lived through him, and everything was through him, and I was happy to sit on the sideline and watch. And I take that same kind of ethos into American football coaching, that I'm going to live my American football life through the players that I'm coaching and watching them do the things that, you know, I'm help them cultivate. And that's pretty much where I'm at. So I'm happy now to sit back and watch these boys do their thing. And then I can critique and say, listen, that you can do that a little bit better, or that was absolutely fantastic. Do more of that. And that's where I'm at with it. I'm happy there.
I like it. I mean, you've kind of do you feel like you've done everything you need to do in football? You don't need to prove anything to anyone, do you?
No, don't need to prove anything. Only thing, I would have loved to have had a ring. I really would have loved to have had a ring. And that's not been the case. So it's fine. If I can get a ring as a coach, then I know that I'm doing my job well. Simple as that. And that would probably be even better because I'm learning the sport from a more technical aspect. So to coach a team that does well enough to get a ring would be, especially in my first season, would be an amazing achievement for me.
I love it. I love it. And that's the thing, is it's kind of, obviously there's an awful lot of people out there that are kind of like, oh, well, you know, it's not the same, I don't like it, but you've done it. You've done it, got the t-shirt, you've done it, you've had, you know, you've done all the bits you want to do in your life. You've obviously come out on tour, you've played overseas, you know, with us, with the Exiles, with the Herd. And that's the thing, is that's how I knew about your military background, because when we were in Budapest, you, me, Nelly, were like, right, okay, we're going to go shoot some guns.
Yes.
And this is the thing, is your competitive nature now could shine through your coaching thing, because we were like, I was like, yeah, we'll have a go and just shoot it. You just go absolutely silent. So it's I imagine what you're like with playing. And then you just put the gun, this massive big cannon, in the crook of your arm, leap down and bang, and absolutely dead-eyed it. And it was just, and that's the thing, is that's you to a T, is that competitive. I'm going to beat you all, I don't care.
Yeah.
And I just loved it. And that's like how you've been and all through your career. So anything you can impart on anyone that might either be kind of coming up to retirement, because obviously you've retired, you know, twice now, kind of, you know, enforced retirement. Anything you've got for people that might be thinking, my body's giving up, or I'm not quite there, I think it's about time to go. What would you say to them?
I would say to them, listen to your body. If your body is telling you, call it a day. Don't listen to your head, because your head will be like, oh man, you can play. You're still strong. You can do it. Listen to your body, because at the end of the day, your head will tell you that, and your body will give up on you when you're out there. When you're getting ragdolled by some 25-year-old scroll, you're not going to like that. You're going to feel like, you know, you're not going to feel good. I personally wouldn't feel good. My ego won't allow me to continue to play. So listen to your ego, listen to your body. If your body's telling you don't play, follow that. And then just go into coaching and live through the guys that you're coaching.
I love that, because you're still getting the same satisfaction, there's still
100%.
the same enjoyment, and you're going to obviously keep coming out on Seahawk tours.
Of course I am.
Go to Italy and come coaching with us and get involved in the Jolly. And you've earned that. If stand up and give us a twirl, you've earned that legend jersey that we got you for Burnout. Give us a twirl, give us a spin. Look at it. This is Yardie's own thing. See, we recognise you as a genuine legend.
Of course, mate.
Correct. But yeah, so come out with us. And this is the thing, is obviously in the Seahawks, we look after everyone that's come through and progressed through the ranks up until legend. But mate, that has been absolutely fantastic. Thank you for talking to us.
No, man, it's been a pleasure, Mike. As I said, from when I met you, you know that I loved you immediately from the minute I saw you, because you're my Hacksaw Jim Duggan guy.
Yes,
and I just absolutely have all the time in the world for you and the work that you've done to bring the Seahawks to where it is. I mean, because we thought that the Thunder and Herd was done and we'd never do this. And without you and your drive for the Seahawks, I probably would have never played in some of the places that we've played either. So I really appreciate that to you. I really appreciate that. I really love the Seahawks family. And yeah, I'm just grateful, because I can say to people that I meet that I've played American football in different countries, and a lot of people in this country, unless you play for GB, can't say that. And I can say that I've played American football in many countries around the world. So, and I thank you for that.
No, it's all right, mate. Like I said, I love you to bits, and I always kind of drag you out, even if I have to get Bruno to try and kind of grip you and drag you in sometimes because you're like, yeah, oh, I'm sure I'm meant to be somewhere, and we kind of coordinate to drip you out.
Bruno's my PA. He's my PA. You won't like that, but yes, you're my PA, Bruno.
I love it. I love it. Well, mate, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Pleasure.
It's been absolutely incredible.
Pleasure.
And for anyone else that's kind of thinking of, you know, what to do and all that, you can reach out to Yardie, you can reach out to me, you can reach out any Seahawk, and we'll help you through it, because it is a really kind of painful time in anyone's career to kind of go, that's enough for me. But as Yardie is quite, you know, eloquently put it, there is life after the locker room. Have that for a soundbite. Do you like that? Come on.
Love that. I love that.
All right, buddy. Big loves and big loves to everyone out there for watching.
Love you too, man. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
All right.